Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 23 of the Frisky Whiskey. Mike D, we're at 23. What do we got going on today?
Episode 23 is going to be good because you know what? We're doing whiskey with a purpose.
I like it.
You know, it's kind of weird, right? Whiskey with a purpose, but they have a good purpose. These are whiskeys that have built their culture and their philosophy about why they're making these whiskeys. They have a passion for whiskey, but they wanted to do something
That gives back.
With making the whiskey they want to make. So these guys have some interesting stories. And we got two really good whiskeys, and they're new players to the field. Mm-hmm. We have something called Nobel Oak, which the name's going to make sense once we tell you a little story about them. And then we have something called Horse Soldier. Yeah. And this one, I love the story behind this one. This is really cool.
It is a cool story, actually.
And the bottle's really cool, but we'll go through all that as we go through our progressions tonight. Yeah. But it's going to be a really good show. And so I think we should start diving right in.
Why'd you say it like that?
I don't know. Just being weird. All right. Maybe because we already have.
You got like the head thing too.
So we did have a little whiskey before the show started.
That's not enough to get you that going. Not enough to change your accent.
Going through my things right now. All right, so we'll do some Noble Oak here.
Yeah, and I'll kick us off.
All right, yeah. I want you to do the history of Noble Oak, but it's a cool bottle. I like the bottle. It's got the oak tree on it.
It is.
You know, so it's the double oak bourbon. So go ahead, T.I. Talk to us about this.
So this is about $33. It's 90 proof. So this the story of Noble Oak. So it was founded in 2017. It was created with the goal of offering a great whiskey that gives back. Every bottle plants a tree. Their efforts have spanned from the Redwood Forest in California to Detroit, Michigan, to the Finger Lakes in New York, and everywhere in between. Noble Oak is committed to planting 1 million trees via their partnership with One Tree Planted. The number of trees planted in Florida so far is at 61,360.
That's kind of cool, right?
That is
on their
cool.
Website, they actually have the states that they've done it in. You can click on it and see what they planted.
I like that.
Yeah.
So Nobel Oak Whiskey Company is a collaboration with Edrington of Scotland. Noble Oak is finished and bottled in Newtown, Ohio.
So when I was doing the history of this, when I was looking them up, so they had partnered with, and the distillers from Noble Oak went to Scotland and met these guys and trained. That's pretty cool. Guys, so it's pretty cool.
So,
sorry, excuse me. Oh my
gosh. Still dying.
I'm dying.
Right. So on the nose, we'll get honey and ripe cherries. And our taste is going to be vanilla, spices, dried fruits, wood, and cherry.
Yes.
So.
And this is 90 proof.
Yep, it's 90 proof.
And so I've been trying to pull out more of the mash bills as I'm doing my history now. I'm trying to find them. So for Noble Oak, they only will list that they're 51% corn, but every batch is different after that.
Okay.
So that's why I have the question marks there on the little paperwork here.
Well, we know that they are definitely at least a bourbon.
Bourbon because it's 51% corn. But there are other percentages can be different every batch. Every
the for the other things.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
It smells good.
The cherries there, that ripe fruit, you know.
It's different. It's
sweet, so it's honey.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's not super complex. It's kind of like a simple smell. I like it.
Yeah, and I mean, based off what we're reading here, it shouldn't be complex.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go.
Yeah, go for it. Dive on in. What you thinking?
That's really smooth. That spice is there. That dried fruit is there. That wood is there. A little hint of vanilla. I'm not getting that. Hold on. Let me see if I can get that cherry.
That is vanilla. A little spicy.
The dried fruits is just so strong, in my opinion. Maybe the dried fruits and the cherry just mixing in for me right now. They're really, yeah. I mean, because it's definitely a dried fruit. I mean, this is tasty.
The finish is definitely wood.
You know, they've won awards, so they're doing pretty good out there. This is very tasty. So I was on their website. So it's not that they just give money to this One Tree Planted Society. They actually get involved. Like
They actually help plant
They
the
actually
trees.
go to it, and a lot of the places they're going, they're not just planting a tree just to plant a tree. They're actually planting a tree to help fix something in that environment. Like they need trees here because it was like maybe over farmed or over something like over not taken care of, or like maybe they're having issues with the water supplies, and more trees will help kind of naturally filter that out. So
Fires,
stuff like
things
that.
like that.
Yeah, exactly. So they go to places and they're not just planting trees; they're planting trees to do something that's going to help that environment.
I like that.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. I mean, they have a
That's
really
even
good
more
story.
of a purpose, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Other
no.
than, because anybody could just go out and plant a tree in their yard and say, "Hey,
Yeah, I planted a tree.
I planted a tree."
But they're doing it for a reason to help the environment of that ecosystem of that area where they're going to. In Florida, they've done it in I think 3 or 4 different places in Florida. So it wasn't just like they just picked a spot in the middle of Florida and planted 61,000 trees. Like it's in different areas in Florida.
Okay.
Like one area had 15,000. I actually had to add this up. Like one area got 15,000.
Was it like the Everglades and there stuff?
One was definitely in the Seminole area territory, and then another one was definitely in the middle of Florida. I think another one was somewhere closer to the East Coast. It was kind of interesting areas.
East Coast.
Well, on the East Coast of Florida compared to the West Coast of Florida.
Oh, okay.
Because the place I just said were more in the center of Florida.
So that would kind of be the Everglades at that point if it's central, unless it's too far north.
Too far. These are more north.
Okay,
Yeah,
so that's all that's all old farmland up there.
exactly.
So it might just be like that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a great story. You check out their website. It's kind of cool. So I have to get off subject. So I've been watching something on Netflix. I don't know if you've caught this yet or not. It's called Quarterback.
I have seen it advertised to me, and it started with Patrick Mahomes crying about spraining his ankle.
Yeah. Well, it's actually really good. I'm totally into it. You got to check this out because you're a sports fan. So they follow 3 quarterbacks: Patrick Mahomes, Kevin Cousins, and Marcus Mariota.
Okay.
Was it Kevin Cousins? Kirk Cousins. And it's kind of cool. I know some people don't like Patrick Mahomes and his wife because they're kind of out there vocal about lots of things. But when you watch him play and you see his passion for football and how he's just 110% dedicated to that sport, it's kind of cool. Kirk Cousins too. You're watching Marcus Mariota because it was last season, so you knew something. If you're a football fan, you knew something happened with Mariota during the season last year. So it was kind of interesting leading up to that and watching like where Cousins and Mahomes is very positive. They're winning. They're going to the playoffs. Marcus Mariota is going in a different direction. He's like, I'm going to get cut. I'm not going to.
I mean, not to laugh at his pain, but
watching what they have to do to prepare each week. And then,
so this followed them last season.
Yeah.
Okay.
From training camp,
Like day one training camp.
Yeah, to the playoffs.
And is it like a movie or is it like a
documentary?
series?
It's a series.
Okay.
It's I think I'm up to number 7 right now. Okay. So they're getting towards the end of the season.
How long is each one of the series?
About 40 minutes, 45 minutes each. Okay. I could say I have a lot of respect for Kirk Cousins and how he approaches football. He's one of the only football players in the National Football League that takes Tuesday off. It's in his contract. He does nothing football related on Tuesday. He spends time with his family.
Most people do that on Sundays, but obviously
they're playing football on Sundays. But in the NFL, those guys are back to work on Monday. Yeah. They're film rooms Tuesday. They're working out. They're on Tuesday. Kirk Cousins does not play football. Does not do anything football related. He stays home.
I like that.
He does it for his mental health and he does it for his family health.
That's good.
I thought that was kind of cool.
That's a good way
They're
to do
great.
it.
And all 3 of them were great husbands and great. Marcus Mariota, soon to be father, who just had a baby, but those other 2, Mahomes and Cousins, have kids. They're great parents. Like you see all what they are as people. It's kind of cool.
That is cool.
And then during the games, man, it is true in my opinion. The quarterback is the toughest job in all of sports. These guys are taking hits after hits after hits, and like you see like how these linemen like throw these cheap shots at them all the time, like slapping them in the head or doing something to them. I mean, look, if I got hit once. by even the 3rd stringer, I would be able to walk. And he's got Cousins is funny because he really like you hear his pain during the game. Like he gets up, oh my god, he's running to the huddle. Oh my god, okay, M33, run, go. hike, It's just funny, like watching him. He's very articulate about his pain. He has no problem just letting people know he's in pain and it hurts. So really, really cool show to check out. So you should check it out, T, because I know you like your football.
I do.
It's good football watching.
All right.
It's definitely worth checking out. So
in preparation for the upcoming season.
Upcoming season, get you into it, Yeah. Because we got fantasy football coming up too, buddy.
We do.
What pick did you get?
Number 7.
Okay, that's not a bad spot. I like my number 11. I like being the back end of the draft now. I've learned my lessons over the years.
I think I'm in an all right position. I think last year I was 5.
Yeah, see, probably like 1 through 5 is once you go, you got to wait a long time to go. When you're like 7, you're kind of in the middle. You're kind of going at a constant level. Like for me at number 11, you get 2 picks like we're almost back to back, and then you got to wait.
I think like 3 years ago I had number 1, and it sucked.
Number 1's kiss of death. I don't care what anybody says. That is the kiss of death.
I'd pick once, and then I'd wait 40 turns.
Right, and then chances are during the season, the number 1 pick gets hurt. He's done for the season. I think number 1 pick's worth. So if you're fantasy football fans out there, you guys got to be doing your homework now.
Yeah.
But I love the draft. I love the art of drafting. Yeah. So another league where we actually. Or it's a dynasty league that we decided to do like a retool, a reboot. So everybody's players have been picked out of the teams. It's a full new draft. So they did a draft for your draft pick. It was kind of weird. Like he was just drawing names out of a hat.
Yeah.
And then if you got your name pulled, you could pick your draft pick.
Oh, that's cool.
So we picked number 12 because let's just get back to back, wait, and when it's our turn, we know what we're getting. Because the one thing about number 7, you get them and you're going again quickly, but then you're watching that guy that you want. Suddenly, that 1 or 2 guys that you want are gone. At least when you have those back-to-back picks, you at least are getting what you want. Yeah. No one can take those 2 players.
Yeah, I usually start off with the core. With my core, it's usually I have 3 picks ready to go.
Okay.
Like always, just because I'm like, I know one of them's going to get nabbed. One of them's bound to get nabbed. So I'm always like 3 picks, and then hope that I get the first one. Hope that I get the second one if the first one doesn't pan out. And if the third one doesn't pan out, then I'm panicking and I'm searching through my listing and like, all right, which one did I want after? Like what position did I want next that I haven't picked on yet that I still have my first person to pick, right? My first draft pick. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to the draft.
Yeah, it'll be good.
We got to figure out what we're going to do about that show that week, by the way.
We'll figure it out. Everyone will be having a good time and drafting.
All right, so we're going for the ice with the Nobel Oak.
Yes, we are. That's how we kind of got into football, didn't we?
We did. Well, I brought up. Dude, I was watching on Netflix.
All right.
Very good show to watch. Check it out, people. If you're a football fan, I think you'd really enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right, so back to the Nobel Oak where the vanilla, spices, dried fruits, wood, and cherry are now being added with a little ice in there.
So the smell didn't change much. In fact, actually, the cherry popped a little bit more.
That cherry popped a lot more.
The honey's kind of mellowed.
Yeah, that vanilla smells much more now. But that that cherry definitely comes out more. This is look. What was this price? $32. This is good. I would make it. I would make a cocktail with this. They have a recipe section too, by the way, which we're gonna be doing some mixologist series coming up.
Yeah.
But they have.
We're planning them out. We're kind of like picking no riskies right now.
Yeah. And I was doing a little R&D last night. I posted on Instagram last night.
Yeah, if you guys are following us on Instagram.
I did some R&D on the High West pre-made old-fashioned mix. And it's made with rye and bourbon, simple syrup, and bitters. That's it. That's all the ingredients in this thing.
All right.
Now, if you saw my other post earlier from this summer, I had posted with the Bullet pre-made old-fashions. I think we need to get the pre-made old-fashions together, and let's do a show.
All right.
Let's see which one is the master of the pre-made old-fashions. They both were good, but one's got to be better than the other.
One's always going to be better than the other.
Exactly. So I think we got to find a third one to make it fair. I haven't seen the third one yet. I don't think
they're probably out there somewhere.
It's out there. I mean, that's the first time I saw the High West.
You know what would be fun is to find one that's more of like a mom pop shop
that makes their own.
You get the bigger names in it, and then you get the smaller one.
Actually, you know what I may have. And that'd be the perfect one to do it with. Is that one I had in a little pack that I brought when I smuggled on the cruise?
Yeah, because that weird one, the little plastic baggy ones.
Right, but those are made in Italy.
Yeah, those little bags.
Not a little big. No, it was a little black bag. It was about yay big.
I know, but I think the little pouches.
No, the little pouches was just a straight whiskey.
Oh, okay.
This was actually an old fashioned it was in a little black thing, and it was like 3 ounces.
Yeah, grab that then.
Yeah,
we need that.
Yeah. No, it's. So I think we need to. That would be actually a good fight because that one's like a real underdog.
Yeah, It's also
from
probably
Italy.
not really well known.
I can't remember the name of it. I know I got it from Total Wine.
So now that's all right. So it's from Italy. It's an old-fashioned premix. What's the whiskey it's using?
I don't remember. I have to look.
Isn't it Italian whiskey?
Maybe. I mean, technically speaking, an old fashioned can be whiskey or bourbon, right? Or rye. It doesn't really matter. So maybe it is an Italian whiskey. From Italy, so I guess it would make sense they're using it.
Unless they want it to be like, the bigger market, which is grabbing a bourbon barrel from here.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, if I remember correctly, it was like a pack of like 8 of them. It was like $10 or $15. It wasn't expensive.
Maybe we'll grab 4 just because we'll try to see if we can find another one around the world.
Sure.
Like we can do the Italy one, we can do a couple of local ones. And then maybe see if we can find one. I mean, Australia's up and coming with their whiskeys. Japan's with their whiskeys. Maybe we can find one from Japan.
A pre-made one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Or England.
We got to look around. Like I went to Walgreens last night. That's how I found the High West one. You just got to go check out the, I think I got a little loud there. And check out, see if we could find, because like I said, I never saw the High West one at Total Wine or at ABC or... we didn't look at our new favorite packy at the Riviera Inlet, but
we didn't really venture around there too much. We were we were laser focused.
We were starstruck.
Yes, we were laser focused on a very specific task.
Yeah, it was Irish whiskeys, and B, it was like discovery of their
whiskey section.
Yeah,
their private selects.
Yeah, their barrel selects that are done just for them, which was quite amazing, quite amazing.
Still, it's crazy how many they have of those. But no, this is actually a really, really good bourbon.
And I think I'm 50-50 on this when it comes to neat or on the ice. I think we can go either direction here.
Honestly, I prefer it on the rock or on neat.
Do you?
On the rocks,
I think I'm 50-50. I think I could drink this neat, and I could drink this on the rocks.
Oh, I could drink it either way, but I definitely have a preference for it to be neat.
You like yours neat?
It's just super neat. It's super neat.
It's super neat. It's super neat.
It's super smooth. We said neat way too many times.
Neat.
It's neat. Yeah, this is neat. Whiskey's neat.
Yeah, no, I like this. I would definitely recommend buying this. You see this in the store. You're not sure what to buy someone for a gift. You don't want to spend more than $40. This is a good one.
Yeah, I mean for barely being over 30.
And with the purpose that it's doing, it's planting trees.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool.
So you buy a bottle, you plant a tree.
Yeah,
you get to help them with their mission, and you get to drink it whiskey.
Yeah, I think on their website. I think they're up to like 700,000 trees planted.
So what are they going to do once they hit the million? Are they going to go for like 5 million?
I would think. I mean, if they're getting popular and they're selling, why would they stop? Why is this million? Okay, we're done. That's it. We did our stuff. Now it's all our profits. I can't see this company doing this distillery.
Also, how much does a small tree cost?
It's not much. I mean, I plant them in my backyard. The good question is, what is the tree they're planting?
Well, I'd have to imagine that it's part
because trees can be expensive. Trees can add up very quickly.
I think it has to be a part of the system that it's in, right?
Yes.
So they're not going to take like some, deciduous tree from the northeast and plant it in the Redwood Forest. It doesn't make sense.
Right. So they have to go to a nursery that is growing trees of that region.
You think they're actually planting redwoods in the Redwood Forest?
Is that how that works?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't you? Baby redwoods?
I don't know.
But don't redwoods live for like 500 years?
More than that, dude.
So what's a baby one, like
20?
20? Yeah.
But
trees are expensive. I mean, I know from just living in Florida, my brother-in-law has a landscape business. I mean, they'll charge you from hundreds to thousands of dollars for a tree to be planted, depending on how big the tree is at the time and what type of tree it is. So it's interesting. It's actually a really good question to ask. What to call them? We'll write them a letter.
We will send correspondence.
This is their Frisky Whiskey. We want to understand.
We demand to understand your tree costs.
Our listeners demand.
Oh, my goodness. Or maybe that is just oak trees.
Could be. No,
oak trees are pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, Florida. I have 2 oak trees in my yard, so yeah, it makes sense. It's Florida.
They just pick oak trees. They're solid wood.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I mean, is the redwood like a cousin?
Maybe that's the plan. No. Maybe that's the plan, is they plant oak everywhere, and then there's just enough oak for whiskey barrels.
Oh, maybe
It's all white oak.
So maybe it's like
They're playing the long game.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah, they're
really,
playing a
really,
long, like,
really long game.
you know, and then they exclusively have rights to those oak trees. No one else can get to them, you know.
And we help them do it.
Right, and then 30 years from now,
All right.
only
The frisky whiskey has now gone conspiracy
right?
theory.
And there's only Noble Oak to buy for whiskey because there's no other barrels in the world anymore. Watch our podcast later tonight for the conspiracy theory of whiskey. Whiskey for the brain. Whiskey for the brain.
I love that.
All right. So I think
But
it's
seriously,
time.
it is good whiskey.
I think it's getting time. Going back to that voice again.
Yeah, weird southern accent
Weird
thing you
southern
got
accent
going on.
from a New Yorker, Italian New Yorker.
Doesn't really work well.
Those are the worst kinds.
No, I don't want your
Oh,
glass.
I thought I was like, why do you want my glass?
No, I want the other thing so I can actually rinse mine too.
So, I think you did a really good job with the food tonight, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
So, T.I. went to...
I went to Texas de Brazil.
yes.
So I woke up this morning and I just wanted some steak. Right? And I knew what we were drinking. And, they have cool little stories and such. And I was just, I don't know. Steak seemed to pop into my brain and I wanted it. And I was like, you know what? That's what I'm going to do.
Steak, you got lamb.
So we did a garlic pecana. We did the leg of lamb, which was super good and super late. It was charred perfectly. With
Oh,
the
yeah.
fat.
It was like butter.
And then we did the Brazilian smoked sausages.
Yeah, sausages.
And we did the garlic taters. We did the mushroom caps. And then we, of course, you can't not have the cheese bread.
Yeah, that cheese bread's so good. But, I mean, it already, in my opinion, would go great with that Noble Oak. And I think that's when you drink that neat.
Oh, yeah.
With those meats.
Especially with like that
proteins.
lamb.
Yeah, the lamb. I think the Noble Oak and the lamb is perfect.
Because it was like the lamb didn't need any seasonings. It was holding its own.
Just making sure we're even here. So this is a cool bottle, man. Check this bottle out, man.
Yeah.
So it's like a tin, the label,
Oh, yeah.
and so we're going to talk to you. Let me do the history, so I explain what we're about to be looking at here. So, Horse Soldier, it's a small batch bourbon. They have 3 different kinds. They have a straight bourbon, they have a signature bourbon, and they have small batch. Small batch, and pricing wise, small batch is in the middle. Okay. So this one was $59.99.
All right.
95 proof. It's 70% corn, 20% wheat, 10% barley.
Alrighty.
All right. So that's a good idea too. The American Freedom Distillery was founded in 2016 by John Kecko, Elizabeth Picard Kecko, Scott Neal, and key retired members of the hand-selected detachment of the Green Berets from the 5th Special Forces Group, who were the first to enter Afghanistan on horseback weeks following the 9/11 terrorist attacks.
That's kind of badass.
That is way
Also,
badass.
that's like a crazy story too.
Yes. And then these men were known as the horse soldiers. All had a passion. All these people had a passion for bourbon and helping fellow veterans. Once again, whiskey with a purpose. This is when the Horse Soldier brand was born. So they built a distillery and they had to think of the name of their brand they wanted to do. Currently, it's being distilled by Middle West Spirits in Columbus, Ohio. And I'm going to talk more about this in a second. And bottled in St. Petersburg, Florida. Now, the New York Port Authority donated steel recovered from the World Trade Center to the American Freedom Distillery. The steel was used to create the mold for their label. So their label, which we were just looking at,
is actually punched from the steel from the World Trade Center towers.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty
and
cool.
obviously they're using which we'll go into in a second. They have the guy and the horse on here, and so the mold is used to craft every bottle of Horse Soldier. Okay, the Horse Soldier is in the process of building out their mega distillery in Somerset, Pulaski County in Kentucky.
All right.
So if you're not paying attention, they're right now distilling in Columbus, Ohio. They're bottling in St. Petersburg, Florida, but they're building out in Kentucky.
So eventually they will be a Kentucky bourbon.
Yes. Now, proceeds goes towards American Response Monument, which is nicknamed the Horse Soldier statue, which is on the bottle. That's what their bottle is. Okay. The statue is dedicated to the U.S. Special Forces and commemorates the horse soldiers. In addition, the distillery also contributes to Warrior Sailing Program, which helps vets deal with PTSD and injuries. The Green Beret Foundation, which makes sense, these guys were Green Berets, and the Armed Forces Families Foundation. And they also contribute to many more local Florida nonprofits around their area.
Wow.
So they're really doing a lot for veterans.
They are.
Which is really cool. Now, I have something I want to talk about real quick because when I was doing the history of these guys, so in the very, very beginning, they started out in St. Petersburg, Florida. They were actually distilling in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Okay.
All right. So for a good time period, this was actually a Florida whiskey.
I like that. That's pretty cool.
And then I'm taking a guess here. Okay, this is just an educated guess. And if Horse Soldier, you're listening to me, if I'm wrong, let me know. Tell me the whole story. I love to talk to you guys. It sounds like they got big. They got popular. They got picked up by a national distributor. Probably had to go to a bigger distillery than what they had access to in St. Petersburg. Hence what got them probably to Columbus, Ohio. And now they're building out this mega distillery. So if you're building out a mega distillery, that means you're selling.
Oh yeah,
you're making a name for yourself, and I know for a fact one of our guests, Jacobs, who works for a restaurant we're not going to name right now, he was getting this from his distributors, and he had heard of it, and it's seriously, I've looked at every liquor store I go to besides Walgreens yesterday. It's in every liquor store I go to. It's an ABC Total Wine. It was I got this one from a liquor warehouse in Okeechobee, in West Palm Beach. I did see this when we were at
Inlet.
Yep, they had it there. They actually had all three. So it's obviously being distributed.
Yep.
So they're building up their name. So it's just kind of cool. So so what we're gonna get for a nose, for a scent, if you will, butterscotch, ginger, cherries, toffee, and grain. And some flavors we're going to get is creamy toffee, stone fruits, vanilla, oak, nut, and pepper. So,
wow, butterscotch is there.
Wow, that smells so good.
Definitely some ginger there too.
Yeah, ginger. The butterscotch is definitely there.
Toffee.
Go in. Just go deep, man. Go go horse deep.
Ooh, that is so nice. That is a damn good bourbon.
Wait, I got to clean my palate. Wow, that vanilla. It's like eating a good vanilla candy. Like that is really good vanilla. Wow.
A little bit of, you can get the oakiness.
Hope you guys can hear me drink there. I made some noises when I was drinking that water.
Some pepper. Oh, that's good, man.
Wow.
I need this in my collection.
I mean, look, Nobel Oak was good.
It's different.
This is different. This is really good. Definitely, this is well worth $59.99, $60. And this is not one of those ones you're going to get price gouged on. This is probably what you're going to get wherever you go find it. Yeah. This is, like I said, this is a small batch we're doing. And they have a regular straight bourbon, and they have a signature blend bourbon, or something like signature select bourbon. I forgot. I'm honestly drawing a blank what the third one was. But I like their story. I like the fact they started out in Florida. So they have hooks in Florida. I'm not sure what those hooks are. And when I was reading, too, where they're going to in Kentucky, they all have some type of family
tie into that area.
They all have some kind of tie into that very particular area.
I wonder
where they're building.
What is it? Somerset, Pulaski. I wonder if that's like part of one of the bourbon regions.
Could be.
Because they exist out there.
Maybe.
We should look that up.
But I love their story. I love the fact they're helping veterans. My father-in-law was a Vietnam vet, Purple Heart. So, and especially this PTSD stuff, and these guys get and also a lot of these guys who have injuries totally get forgotten about. It's so wrong what you hear in the news. Like we heard all the stuff going to the VA hospitals and all that. So, it's really nice that they're focusing on what they were part of, and they had a passion for the bourbon, and they said, let's make this and let's help. So once again, these are these are whiskeys with a purpose. And from my gathering, from all the research I've done and things I've seen, I would say 98% of these whiskeys I've looked at do something locally.
Oh yeah,
but their culture and their methodology, they're not built around that.
Correct, and that's why these are whiskeys with a purpose.
Yes,
because it's actually built with an idea of helping something.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
it was built on that purpose.
Their whole culture was around not the whiskey; it's around helping.
And they just happen to make really good whiskey.
The other way around, other places they're making whiskey and they're being good social, whatever you want to call it, in their local areas most of the time. Remember we did Virginia a couple weeks ago. Virginia Distilling Company. They do stuff locally with which is cool. But they weren't built to do that. They were built to make whiskey first.
Yeah.
But these guys, I mean, this is really good, man. I mean, the more it's breathing in this glass, That vanilla's coming out even more in the scent.
So did they say like every bottle purchased, like some of it's donated? And stuff?
I don't know how this that I don't know. Where Noble Oak is calling it out per bottle.
I'd have to imagine they do, right?
I bet you it's a percentage of their sales.
Yeah,
It's
maybe, gotta be.
Maybe more percentage per bottle sold or something.
So
like
like
that.
there's a lot of info with Horse Soldier, right? So just to recap, what's awesome about this whiskey? So first off, the tin label up front,
Yes.
is minted from the steel that came from the World Trade
Yes.
Center towers in New York City,
Yes.
right? Not only that, but the whiskey itself is named after the
The Green Berets that went in there.
The 5th Special Forces Group, the Green Berets that rode horses
Into Afghanistan. Think about that. I mean, this is modern age.
Yeah.
And the only way these guys got in were with horses.
Badass, right? And then on top of that, they're also donating a ton of their probably time and money
Oh, I'm sure they're doing something with time.
to helping out our veterans,
Yeah. Which is very cool.
which is super awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
That's such a cool like whiskey to back.
yeah. Absolutely.
I like that.
Absolutely. And I would definitely buy this for a gift for somebody. If I really like you, this one you get. If I like you a little bit, you get Noble Oak. If I don't know you, you get Noble Oak. But if I know you and I know you're a whiskey guy, you're getting this because this is something if I was walking like, what should I get somebody? If I saw that, I was like, what am I going to buy? I'd grab that in a heartbeat because this is really
Absolutely,
good.
this is fantastic.
And the story is easy to talk about
It's super fun.
and fun and
It's
good.
like it's. I guess fun is probably the bad word, but no, it is. It's
fun.
an entertaining.
No, it's fun. It's an
fun
entertaining story. Yeah, it's a great story.
And then it also has like a good meaning behind it.
Absolutely, and this is something when you give it to them, you can explain to them this is what you're getting, and this is what they're doing, and this is what the label, how the label is made, and it's got a great story behind this. This is really tasty.
This is really tasty.
I mean, out of the gate, would you make a cocktail with this?
Hell no.
No. I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Now they, if they do have recipes, I'm not opposed to giving it a try. But honestly, neat. This is so freaking good.
Yeah, this is really good neat.
Like I almost don't want to put ice on it, but we got it for science.
We have to. We have to.
But I don't have to make a cocktail with it.
No, I would not. I would not make an old fashioned with this.
No way, no how. Yeah, this is really good. Pleasantly surprised. Actually, I shouldn't say pleasantly surprised. I've heard good things about it. I just hadn't tried it.
Now, this is interesting. Okay, so I'm looking at the bottle. Remember I said it's going to St. Petersburg to be bottled?
Yeah.
But on this particular bottle, it says handmade and bottled by American Freedom Distillery in Columbus, Ohio. So this is like the information I'm getting on this is all over the place.
Well, so you can have things bottled in different areas.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe
so what if this particular
one,
is bottled there, and then they have other ones that are bottled down here?
Yeah. Once again, Horsehold, if you guys listen to the show, man, send me an email. Educate me.
Yeah.
If I'm getting this wrong, this is what I'm finding on the internet. And I search. I mean, it wasn't like I just went to your website.
I just want to talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Actually, really cool
awesome.
story.
Yeah.
I like this kind of stuff.
All right. And we're coming into something special next too, by the way. We're not going to say anything just yet, but we got something coming up
Soon.
next.
So the nose, it changed a lot. So that nice, I don't know, like the spiciness of ginger. If it's a spiciness, I don't really know what else to call it.
It got spicier.
To me, it got mellower.
Really? To me, my nose is tingling more. Clear my palate one more time.
So the butterscotch stays there on the nose. The cherries is there lightly. The grain is there. Kind of toffee and ginger kind of fade away.
Yeah, it's mellowed out. I think it was just because I took a sip right when I poured it. I think it messed me all up. That's why I cleaned my mouth out. Clean my mouth out.
You dirty bird.
Dirty boy.
But that is nice. It stays creamy.
The fruits are coming out more. Those stone fruits are coming out more. The creaminess, that creamy toffee's there more.
So the pepper kind of went away.
The
oakiness is there, but it's
light. The cream, I think that creamy toffee's come out even more than vanilla at this point. And that fruit.
No, this is still good. It's still good on ice. I just neat. This is the winner.
Yeah, I would agree. I would drink this neat. It's not bad on ice, but I would.
But the flavors neat are so freaking good.
Yeah, this is a very
none of it is overpowering.
This is really good. This was like one of those ones that when I was at that liquor warehouse, I just saw it and I just grabbed. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna buy this. I didn't even like research it. I just saw it. I'm like, oh, I never heard of that one before. And they had 3, so I picked the one in the middle. I always go for the one in the middle.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's just how I am, man. You know,
That's what you do.
yeah. So I've been watching something else lately on TV. It was on Apple TV. Tom Holland was doing this thing called The Crowded Room.
Okay.
So it's based off a story, and I think it was the very first case in America where someone was being tried and they were using the multiple personality disorder as their defense. Huh. Like it was never recognized as a disorder at that point in time. And I read in the news, he was getting a lot of heat for this. Like they were giving him like bad press a little bit. It got good ratings on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes gave it good ratings. And I'm watching it and like it's pretty good. It's worth checking out.
So why was he getting heat for it?
Well, he took a year off from acting after doing this.
No.
Which I understand why. You watch this, you understand why, because he had to get into not just the character of the person he was playing, but all his multiple personalities.
That sounds exhausting.
And honestly, you can see that, like, because you had to embrace that personality, that other personality that you. He did this thing in the, I think it was during the courtroom when he was being questioned, and he did such a good job where the personality changed in front of everybody. Huh. It was no longer a person you were just talking to.
Was it like a look or?
It was just everything. His whole entire demeanor, face changed.
Huh.
Like he did a good job with this, and for a reason he got some like bad press. People were kind of ragging him about it, but it got good ratings, and I agree with the ratings. It's actually very entertaining. Look, you're going into the psyche of a person who had multiple personalities. Okay.
Which means you're going into multiple psyches,
right? And so look, you're trying to in a media sense, by showing it in a show like this, showing the personalities. And what's cool is you don't realize what's going on until about the 3rd episode, which is kind of cool. Like something's going on, but you don't realize what's going on until the 3rd episode.
So is this another one of those miniseries type things?
Yeah, it's definitely it's a one and done. Like once it's I think it's like 7 episodes.
Okay.
And it's done. So it's not going to come back. But it's based off this story about this kid in New York that there was like one of their first trials done using multiple personality disorder as a defense. They're like saying whatever his main character's name was, he wasn't there. He didn't do it.
Well, since everyone can look into this because it's a factual story, right? Mm-hmm. So what's the outcome? So he ends up not getting guilty, and they're going to put him in a hospital to get him the help that he needed. And they were going to do this very type of aggressive new age type therapy where they're going to try and bring out all the personalities and then box them.
No, put them all together.
Oh.
And bring them all out and just let it all be one person.
Huh.
Get them all into one session. So, but he was the first one to ever win. Like he wasn't found guilty for what he attempted murder. He tried to kill his stepfather in the show.
Gotcha.
But his personalities are really very different and very unique. The best scene was because there was this one girl personality that was popping out, and then they finally showed what he was doing when he was her as him though. Okay. So he was like, this is take place in the 70s, right? So he's hitting like all these clubs, and he's got like he puts makeup on. It's him. It's a guy. This is the way it looked. It was really interesting. And there's a scene where this guy goes to visit him in jail, and the guy's like, "Where's Ariana?" I think it was her name, Ariana or Ariel. And he's like, "Well, she's not here right now." He's like, "I know. I can see you're not her, but you're her. When can I talk to her again? I miss her." She understood me. Like it was like really interesting. Like
that's weird.
Yeah, it was really weird. Like it was just like he's like I don't know. Like, I think she's gone right now. Like I haven't seen her pop up. And I know who she is. He said it to us. I know who she is, but she's not here right now.
Yeah.
Like it was interesting.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it's on Apple. It's worth checking out. It's called The Crowded Room.
Yeah.
It gets a little weird and like I don't know why he got negative press about it.
That's the part I don't understand. It's like, why?
But like, I could see why when I read that he took a year off from acting. I see why.
Yeah, but I mean, that's because you're playing 500 different people, dude.
And he just does a really good job with it. So
I do like Tom Holland as an actor. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's a very good actor.
Ooh, that's a good idea, P.I.
I don't clean out.
Because we're actually pulling out a little surprise. So we have a new friend, kind of, right?
I would say so. So this is a relationship that was kind of born from
A previous show.
a previous show. You may have known it as the Heaven's Door trio episode.
Which was a very good show.
And then we were, we posted it on our Instagram. We were asked if we would like to try their decade series. And so...
Of course we said yes.
Absolutely. And so...
And I think her name is it Allison?
Who's hooking us up with this?
Yeah.
No.
What's her name again?
I believe it's Kristen.
Okay. Sorry.
I will confirm before we say it. It's Caitlin. I was close.
Sorry.
I was closer than you were.
We're so sorry. We did not
Sorry,
mention
Caitlin.
So I'm going to move here. We're going to move these out a little bit. So
what we ended up with was the Decade Series Straight Rye Whiskey. So this is 100 proof.
Decade Series number 2.
Mm-hmm. So this is distilled in Indiana.
Yep.
With a 95% rye mash bill.
Okay, and it's 95 and 5% barley.
Mm-hmm. And then it's aged over 10 years in New American White Oak barrels. So it's got its own cool little label right there.
Yep.
On the back, and then a little thing there. But so this was sent to us by Caitlin.
And real quick, so this is also expression of the second release of the Decade Series. This is a 10-year-old rye bottled, 100 proof, features mash bill 95%, 5% barley. This expression offers bold and spicy flavors that are complemented by subtle notes of vanilla and caramel from the oak barrel. A great example of a well-aged rye whiskey, and its 100 proof bottling provides a satisfying warmth and depth of flavor. Okay, so on the nose, we should be getting strong aromas of rye bread and baking spices, cinnamon and nutmeg. There are also hints of dried fruit, particularly raisins and dates, as well as sweetness and vanilla and caramel. And then the taste is going to be bold and assertive with a spicy kick of black pepper, cloves, followed by notes of dark chocolate, coffee, and toasted oak.
Did you say cloves?
I said cloves.
Okay.
Yes, cloves. And with the mouthful is rich and full-bodied with a slight oiliness of pleasant warmth from the high alcohol content.
All right.
So they sent us this whole thing, some paperwork on it. So it was kind of cool that she did that. Thank you again, Caitlin. We're very excited to be trying this. So the price is $99 a bottle. So
$99.99.
$99.99. So really $100. Call it out like it is.
Yeah, after taxes and all.
After taxes.
Yeah, go ahead and give yourself a little bit extra. We got enough here to try it with ice.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go. And the appearance is a deep amber color with golden hue. And liquid has long legs when swirled in a glass. So let's check that out.
Yes, it does.
It does have. Oh yeah, look at those legs. Those are nice and sexy.
So, Eric, what was the nose again?
So the nose, we'll go through the nose one more time. So we have strong aromas of rye bread. Yes. Yeah. Yep. Baking spices, definitely.
Yep.
Cinnamon and nutmeg. Yeah. Definitely that cinnamon. That nutmeg is the mellowness.
It smells like
your
baking stuff. Yeah.
Dried fruit, sure.
Maybe lightly in the back. I mean, it's kind of overtaken.
Yeah, I think the baking spices is overtaking the dried fruits. For me to pull out raisins, I'm gonna clean my mouth out real quick again. And there is a hint of that vanilla caramel, that sweetness behind it at the very end. So I think they did that right. I mean, I would hope that was their whiskey. They should have.
So obviously this is a different direction.
So back to the palate. Oh yeah, I mean let's be clear here.
These were bourbons, and
these were bourbons. This is a rye. This is also a special series, a decade series. So this is going to be something much different than what we just had.
Yeah. We just wanted to make sure we introduced it.
Yeah, it was nice for her to send it to us, and we said we'd get it on the show. So we kind of made this little special thing at the end today.
So yeah, what is the palate again?
Bold and assertive, with spicy kicks of black pepper and cloves, followed by dark chocolate, coffee, and toasted oak.
Okay.
with pleasant warmth from a high out. So there is a warmth. She's right. I mean, she's not. They're right. There's nice warmth there at the end. It's kind of but it's not like a spicy warm. It's not spicy.
This is actually
it's very mellow. I mean, it's not mellow, but it's not heavy. It's not like
for being 100 proof, it is kind of mellow.
Yeah, it is. But it's not attacking me.
Yeah. But the pepperiness is definitely there.
That's in the beginning.
Actually pretty dang good.
And I'm definitely getting that sweetness. That chocolate and that coffee together, like almost like a coffee ice cream.
Yeah.
With like chocolate chips in it. Oh, I gotta get some ice cream tonight. Go hit Publix on the way home. Be all drunk. I want your coffee chocolate.
The coffee chocolate. Nah, I like this a lot.
This is really good. And I know we had what's the right word with the rye that we got from that 3-pack? We think some air got into it, so we don't know what we got.
Yeah, and I've actually been looking for that 3-pack because I want to try it again without it being all busted.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to commit to the bottle of rye because rye is actually one of their more expensive
bottles. And it's not fair because we think something happened to that bottle.
Yeah. So anything from that trio episode, I just think we didn't give rye the honest go.
No, but we mentioned that something was wrong. We saw that something was wrong.
But if this is the quality of their decade one,
I'm assuming their other ones.
I'm assuming it's going to be way better than what we were having.
So we'll have to pick up a bottle.
We have to.
Yeah, do a little R&D.
Now, so that one, thankfully, it's in all of the locations we like to go to.
Yeah.
That one's actually pretty easy to find. It's just we'll have to shop around to make sure we get the good price.
Right.
Because I've seen it as high as...
I don't know if we're going to find out 3-pack again.
I've seen it as high as 95, and I've seen it as low as 67 or something like that.
So that price varies then?
Yeah.
Okay.
It kind of depends on where you're going.
It's amazing how the whiskey market is nowadays where Blanton's should be $60. You're getting $200 a bottle. In some cases, like the Willet we had, is selling for higher, and some that aren't, like Horse Soldiers. You're not going to get a fluctuation in price with this. This is going to be where you get it now.
Yeah.
Where certain ones, like you just said, was Heaven's Door, you're seeing it for a price range. It's amazing how this is where whiskey was 25 years ago.
It was no one wanted it.
No one wanted it. It wasn't popular. It was just starting to make its comeback. Yeah. If you went to a liquor store, you'd have an area, you look at me on the video here. You have an area that's really small. Where you go
with all of the things that you can't touch really.
And it was also ultimately ones that you just knew. It was always Jack Daniels, probably 3 different size bottles. Same thing with Jim Beam, 3 different size bottles. Wild Turkey, 3 different size bottles, and then you had a couple other name brands or lower name brands, and it's really really cheap ones on the bottom. And that was your whiskey section in a liquor store. Yeah. Now you go to use Total Wine as an example, man. Bourbon A has its own row. Bourbon is by itself now. Then you go to another aisle, you have a whole row of rye, which is now in its own section, and then a whole section of American whiskey. Yeah. And that wasn't even around 20 years ago. Or, it's funny, when we first met, right? And I was telling you, remember I made that drink for you, the usual, right? Mm-hmm. When I first made that drink before I met you, the only rye I could find was Old Overholt. I couldn't find any other rye. And then, I think it was about a year later, that's when you came over to my house. That's when I found the Dickel rye. Dickel was suddenly I was able to get it. And that was, I think, the beginning of that revolution where you couldn't find anything. Rye was rye
I think rye died. Slowly coming back.
Yeah.
Because also, I've noticed that I can now, when we first started drinking whiskeys, right, together, there wasn't a massive selection in the areas we were going.
No, there was not, and it's changed dramatically.
There just
in the last 2 years or 3 years. Maybe the good thing of the pandemic was it really brought out everyone's need for whiskey and not just a whiskey, a need for good whiskeys and.
Well, I think what it did is it made people more adventurous.
Yes,
in not just their drinking, but in their food.
Yeah,
and then when everything came out of lockdown, people were like, I kind of found that I like these things.
Yeah.
I had time to kill researching these things
and trying
making these
foods,
or doing this, doing that. So then once everything opened back up, everyone was like, I need this now because I've heard about it, I've read about it by my interest that I got into, right? Because now you had time.
Yeah, and what's crazy too is 25 years ago, there are brands that you see today that have been around for decades, but maybe disappeared in the 70s and 80s, or completely disappeared. And then, look, all these like Brown and Foreman, all these guys started buying the name and buying the recipes and re-resurrecting the right way. They were just want slapping a bottle on there and call it, chicken cock. And
here we go.
Here we go. The cock's back out. And there are names that like maybe in the 60s and 70s they were $10 bottles, but now they're like $30 or $40 bottles. But they had disappeared.
Yeah.
Because the whiskey died during the 70s and 80s. Going into the 80s was all clear. It was all tequilas and vodkas, Maybe gin was a little bit in there. All right, so you ready to do some ice?
Let's do some ice.
Ice, baby.
Let's see what happens with these.
All right.
I'm assuming good things.
Assuming good things.
Keep a couple small ones. See where it goes. I'm actually looking forward to this with ice. Okay, so the smell definitely mellowed.
Yeah. Oh, it totally mellowed out. And that nose was the rye bread, which is still there. Mm-hmm. The bacon spices kind of backed off a little bit, and now I'm getting more of that nutmeg and that vanilla, for sure, and that caramel, for sure. That's a good idea. Let me clean the palate. We need to have like that interlude music, like they have in the movie, like back in the days in the theaters, back in the 60s. Let's clean our palate. Let's clean our palate.
Let's have whiskey bottles dancing around. No, it's still there. Like, it's just, everything's a little bit lighter.
Yeah, I'm about to say the same thing. Everything's there. The pepper's there. The cloves are there. The chocolate coffee thing, the oak, but it's just mellow. But still that warmth is still there.
So I would say this is definitely something to pick up and try out. If you've tried the other Heaven's Door whiskeys, this one's definitely, like, I think this one is probably in my top choice now, actually. So I know we really like what was it? We had their rye, we had their double barrel, and then we had their
3-pack, which I'm forgetting. I'm dry. You can't ask me to remember when we tried that.
I know. I do remember the double barrel was both of our favorites.
Yeah, that moment in time, but we also said that the rye was not fair to really contest.
True.
But this is really tasty. Like
I like this one a lot.
For $100, call it out. It is $100. It's a very good rye. I think it's for 100 proof. For as mellow as it is for 100 proof,
spicy where you need it.
Yeah, spicy where you like that. Spicy where you need it.
It's peppery where you need it. It's got the right flavors to be a good rye, and especially since I'm a big fan of ryes in general.
Yeah, me too. I think I'm caught once again 50-50 on neat and on ice, and
I'm actually going to join you on this one now.
Yeah, I don't think I could tell you in either direction you'd be happy.
So the thing that I like about it neat is the fact that it's spicy.
Yeah.
Right? I like that. But then when you mellow it out, it's like suddenly you don't have to worry about like digging through all of those baking spices and the rye and all that stuff. You get the full spectrum of nose, but then also the flavor profile doesn't really change. It just kind of lightens just ever so slightly.
I think this goes great with that lamb, by the way.
This would be fantastic with that lamb.
This goes great with that lamb. I would say this for the steak, that for the sausages.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're gonna break our dinner or our snack up here, into 3 areas there, because we've got 3 proteins, right? Yep. Steak, lamb, and sausage, right? Yep. Those are 3 proteins for tonight. Or today. Actually, it's really today.
It is today.
It's throwing me off. We're doing this early today.
We're doing a little early.
Yeah, we're doing it early today. We got things going on tonight. We got lives.
Wait, what? What? We don't just sit around drinking whiskey
all day and all night, A little day drinking today.
So, as we're kind of getting towards the, geez, DeKB, you all right over there?
I'm dying.
Yeah, stop doing that on me, okay?
Yeah.
But as we're kind of, getting to the end of our episode, I think it would be pretty cool if we could find some of at least pick one of the ones from Horse Soldier. They do a ton of charitable work.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. Yeah,
like pick one of theirs that we can donate to, and then pick the one for Nobel Oak, which is the One Tree Planted.
Yep. And we'll donate some money to it.
We'll donate like $50 each. Yeah.
So $100 each, technically.
Yeah.
For the Frisky Whiskey.
Yeah.
So and we'll post it. We'll throw it on the on our Instagram. But
maybe you guys can donate too.
Yeah,
It'd be fun.
absolutely. You
It'd
guys,
be fun.
because these are really good charities. These are good causes.
Well, if they're making it with a purpose, I'd like to drink it with a purpose.
Yeah, exactly. I want to join their purpose.
Yeah.
And look, helping veterans, I think
That's a huge deal.
It's a huge deal. And look, when it comes to the environment,
we only got one.
we only got one. So you know what? And probably the best thing for that environment is trees.
I mean, they do help. I mean, they do the
does.
thing where it like allows us to breathe clean air.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we will donate each $50 each out of our own pockets, and we'll post it. We'll show which ones we did. Well, I think I'm just going to research quickly on the horse soldier one, because since they're not calling out the local Florida ones, and since we're from Florida. But I think I would lean towards where it's helping the people with PTSD stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
But the Green Beret Foundation and these guys, man, these are the ones who goes in behind.
Oh yeah,
they're
the ones that if the enemy's seeing them show up, they're like, oh shit,
yeah, exactly,
shit,
exactly.
We done goofed.
Yep. But this is a good show today.
It was a good show.
And having a little extra from Heaven's Door once again, Caitlin, thank you.
Yeah, that was awesome
for sending that to us. Hopefully, you get to listen to this show. Hopefully, like what we had to say about your whiskey. But this is a great show. Next week we're gonna have another good show upcoming.
We do have some good shows coming up.
Yeah, we actually have a little list going on.
We do, but we also, I mean, there's some traveling going on between you and I, and I'm going to be unavailable for a couple weeks here in the next couple months.
Yeah, and we're gonna do an early show because I'm taking off.
We got some
August again, so we got to figure some stuff out.
We got some stuff coming up. You might see some. I mean, they'll be recorded maybe in the same week.
Yeah.
Hopefully not the same day.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys want us that slappy.
Yeah, no. And we got some upcoming stuff with guests too. We want to bring some guests back.
We do want to bring a couple guests back.
And I think we want to we would definitely want to bring the chef back and maybe some other people
Chef
back.
Christoph.
Maybe we'll get Steve back. Steve was really good at having a show.
Battle of the Rise finale.
Yep. And I think we want to do a weeded show upcoming.
We do want to do a weeded show.
So we do some mixologist stuff, and I even talked about the pre-mix stuff. So we got some shows upcoming. So everybody check us out on Instagram. Check us out on YouTube. Follow us on YouTube. I think we do more there, but our followers are building naturally, organically on Instagram, which is nice. Keep listening to us, keep downloading us, keep following us, keep liking us, whatever you got to do.
And if you want us to try out your whiskeys,
hit us up, man.
Yeah, shoot us over
a message, shoot us over a picture. Hey, you guys got to do this whiskey. We just found this one. We'll find it. We can find everything. It's on the internet. It's out there. So
tell us where to go.
Yep. But Ti, good choice of foods tonight. Absolutely. With Texas de Brazil. With the lamb steak. Was that steak or was that filet?
That was steak.
No steak. Okay, so steak and the sausages were perfect with the mushrooms and the
garlic mash,
and the little cheese breads. Good choice with the whiskeys we were doing today. But everybody, check out Horse Soldier. Check out Nobel Oak. Once again, when you're buying these, you're helping a cause.
You are.
And these were both very good for their price points. I would not under.
I would not buy these.
Yeah, and then as our little extra one for tonight, the Heaven's Door, the 10 years decade series. Check it out. That's a straight rye whiskey.
It's very good.
Check that one out too. So everybody have a good night out there, and see you next time in the Frisky Whiskey.
Have a good one, everybody. All right.